I'm just going to be talking about what Christmas is like in the heat and how it might be slightly different to yours. I'm curious to know what your Christmas is like. And when you think of Christmas, what comes to mind? Is it a nostalgic, magical, wintry wonderland? But what if Christmas actually means sunshine, long days, beaches, barbecues, swapping the scent of spices with sunscreen and bug spray? So my Christmas is probably quite different to yours. And if it's similar, actually let me know, because I'd like to hear what your experience is like.
So I can't talk for all Australians. There are plenty of people who simply don't celebrate Christmas at all. The types of things that I'm going to describe are somewhat maybe stereotypical, or it's probably just from my own life experience and perspectives. So just want to put that disclaimer out there, and again, it's no indication of how you might celebrate Christmas if you're also in the Southern Hemisphere. So currently it is a week and a half before actual Christmas Day, and I'm only just putting up my tree. I seem to have chosen the hottest day of the season. I really want the air conditioner on because it's currently about 36 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, I don't know what that translates to in Fahrenheit. It's hot. It's really hot. How do we actually celebrate Christmas when it's stinking hot and when no one really feels like a cup of hot cocoa or sitting in front of a fire? So yeah, let's just get started. So I love Christmas. I love Christmas time. I love the feeling of Christmas. I love the lead up to Christmas. That is not to say that I don't get stressed at Christmas. I am only human after all. I totally do. I like the shop windows. I love to see them all dressed up. I love the massive Christmas trees just out in the cities and in the little country towns. We have one right at the top of the street. We also get the Black Friday sales, so you can just do a ton of online Christmas shopping, which is great. The shops stay open. They tend to stay open a bit later.
And there is still that mad dash to find the perfect gift for the perfect person, and frantically wrapping it on Christmas Eve to make sure that there's something to open on Christmas morning.
That was one of the things that I loved as a kid with Christmas being in summer, because it happened right at the beginning of summer holidays. So you knew as soon as Christmas came, that meant 6 weeks of absolute freedom. You just knew that you could be outside. The days were going to be really long. Yeah, every memory of mine of Christmases has just been that summer holiday release, and not so much since I started working. Obviously you don't get 6 weeks off, and I think, you know, people mostly take maybe 2 weeks off around Christmas for kids' summer holidays. So I can't really imagine Christmas as a very short holiday that you'd have to go back to school shortly thereafter. I'm finally done with the tree, and considering doing it in the heat, which I feel like a lot of people down here figure that the less effort you put in, the better. I know that in the likes of the US, Canada, and a lot of countries in Europe go all out with their outdoors decorations and the whole street lights up. Here, a lot of the times it's only 1 or 2 houses in the street that actually make the effort, because let's be honest, who really wants to go to the effort of putting up all those lights and taking them down when it's the height of summer? But that's not to say that you can't go to specific places where the entire street will go all out, and they might have a a quite neighborly competition to see whose house is best. But the people who do are very clever about it. They will go kind of Aussie themed. So you think of Santa in his sleigh being pulled by kangaroos instead of reindeer. And some people actually have white trees instead of green to sort of emulate that colder, frosty, snowy feeling. It's up to the individual. I'm a very pared down kind of a person, but other people will have their entire house full of Christmassy things down to the front door mat. So you really know that Christmas has arrived at their house. And you'll find also that Australians like to use native flowers in table decorations or Christmas wreaths on the front door. It's a little bit more familiar to us. One of the best things about it is actually having freshly cut flowers inside. Also, you're getting this beautiful scent of summer flowers in amongst everything else, sort of adding to the ambience of, you know, it's summer, sun is shining, flowers are blooming. Christmas Eve means carols by candlelight, whether that means gathering in the biggest park in the center of the city or going to a smaller affair in a little country town. People gather with their friends and family, taking rugs, picnic, kids and dogs to enjoy the evening full of Christmas carols, Christmas songs. Santa generally makes an appearance, and it's a really, really fun evening. Other people on Christmas Eve, if they're not attending the carols in the park, they're attending midnight mass at their local cathedral or church, where the Christmas story will be told, where there might be a nativity scene out the front, and there will be the most beautiful hymns and carols sung during the mass. And it's a chance for people to catch up with their friends and family and connect to the real reason that Christmas exists in the first place. I mean, a lot of us live along the coastline, so the beach is front of mind. So many people kind of flock to the beach and then just enjoy the entire day down there. If a beach is not nearby or you're not a beach person, you might do exactly the same thing but out in the park and just let the kids run amok, run around. Or you'll be spending the day at your home or at your family or friend's house. Kids will be kids. They will migrate outdoors. If you have a swimming pool, they'll be in the pool. If you are near a river, they'll be in the water. If you have any sized backyard whatsoever, inevitably someone will bring out a footy or someone will set up backyard cricket. It is basically an Aussie tradition. It's something to keep them out of your hair while you're trying to cook and entertain. The food. The food is probably one of the best bits of anyone's Christmas. Now, the food really depends on where you're located, what your ethnicity is. So a lot of people, they will inevitably go to the very traditional sort of food, very hot vegetables, meats, desserts. Think your hams, your turkeys, your pork, your Christmas pudding, your Christmas cakes, while other people will just go, you know what, stuff it, too hot. Let's do seafood, salad, cold cuts. And here we have actually adapted the traditional Christmas puddings into ice cream versions. So yes, you can have an ice cream Christmas pudding. You can have pavlova topped with whipped cream and kiwi fruit, berries, passion fruit. And while that is sort of a very Western way of thinking, you can certainly have friends or family members who are of Asian origin, where they might have traditional soup, noodle or rice dishes. Or they might do a combination of Western and Eastern foods, so that you get the best of both worlds. So a favorite Christmas drink and one that you wait all year to have, like eggnog. Now you can find eggnog here. It's just not really popular. It's not a tradition that we usually have. You can find it in the supermarket and you can obviously make it yourself. But I don't think I've ever gone to an Aussie Christmas where they've served eggnog. Or maybe you are someone who loves something nice and warming, like a mulled wine or a spiced cider. We have a lot of that during our winters, but if you wanted something like that around Christmas, you'd have to make it yourself. And not a lot of people do, because a hot drink in the heat doesn't really go down that well. So you'll tend to find that people enjoy anything cold, anything icy, a lovely summery flavored cocktail. Tons of bottles of champagne are popped around Christmas time. Ice cold beer. And indeed, that's something that's actually left out for Santa to enjoy as well. A nice cold beer after a nice hard night's work, and plenty of wine, endless wine, wine with ice, wine from the fridge, even maybe just a lovely Pinot Noir that's just slightly chilled. So yeah, really anything goes. It's up to the individual, but it's definitely not something hot. I don't know whether any of that has actually sounded like something that you would want to experience one time in your life, or you're quite happy with your nice wintry Christmases. But I just want to let you know that there are some bad bits about experiencing a Christmas in summertime. Namely, changing multiple times during the day because you have just sweated through what you thought you wanted to wear, even though the air conditioner's on. Inevitably, someone will get either stung, bitten, or burnt. Burning your feet by the pool, burning your feet on the driveway, burning your feet crossing the road. Anyone who drew the short straw to dress up as Santa will be absolutely expiring and melting inside of that costume, having to sit through a hot meal in the heat. Needing to invoke your plan B because it's either far too hot or unseasonably cold. Too many flies and mozzies. The smell of bug spray, the smell of mozzie repellent, forgetting ice, forgetting batteries, forgetting to get a gift for that one person you didn't remember was coming. So let me know, have you experienced a Christmas in summer? Or would you like to experience a Christmas in summer? Either way, from me to you, I really hope you have a good, happy and safe one, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year.